I just want to interrupt everyone's Thanksgiving to say something that most white people are not ready to hear. I believe God is a black woman. Black women are genetically superior than everyone.
The black woman is my God. That's who I worship.
The black woman is my God. That's who I worship. That's my God.
She was first. She is God. The black woman is God.
What is the truth? And can we accept the truth if we don't like it? What if I was to tell you that God is a woman? That God is a black woman?
I am sure black women will lead this nation to a better place.
Y'all heard it. Y'all thought I was lying. Like, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Like, even white women are claiming that the black woman is God. Now, the one living God, I don't think he likes this very much, but this is why I had to put those video clips in the front of the video at the beginning, so I could lay out the context for you guys to show you how we got to where we're at with Miss Fani Willis. And this video is not about me attacking black women or Fani Willis in general. Now, I am going to tell my thoughts about Fani Willis, because Fani Willis, you know, is engaged in a very, very unethical situation, allegedly. And it's a lot of evidence pointing to the obvious that she's guilty of what she's alleged to have done, her and Mr. Nathan Wade. And if they are both not taken off this case, this is just another example of our country being, you know, irredeemable. This nation is almost at its breaking point when it comes to morality, and when it comes to, you know, us trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. But I'm not going to really make a lot of, you know, hoopla about the case itself, because we've seen so many videos. Everybody's making videos about Fani Willis and what's going on in the case with Donald Trump and the Nathan Wade allegations. Is she guilty of those allegations or is she not? I want to talk about a deeper part of this situation. I want to go deeper. I want to talk about how we got here. And Fani Willis isn't the only black female Democrat that has this haughty, untouchable, I'm beyond reproach, I'm a black woman, you can't touch me, blah, 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 blah. And when they do get in trouble, they scream racism, they scream sexism. And the sellout black pastor does nothing but add gasoline to the flames. Don't believe me?
But I believe that our children and our grandchildren are going to recognize another name in black history. And I want you to, all week long, I want you to pray for our own sister who's in a fight for this nation and fighting for the soul of this country. Would you join me in thanking God for the living heroine of Sister Fani, who is doing an amazing... Oh, come on. I want her to know we got her back, and that we are standing in the gap with and for her. Amen. Let me say what she said. She is not on trial. She is not on trial. But whenever you are a brilliant black woman, the white infrastructure gets nervous and don't know how to take it. But I need you all to do me a favor. I got some brilliant black women in this building. Would you cheer for them? Come on. Amen. Thankful for her life and thankful for her witness. And she had no choice but to be a strong black woman because she was raised by a Kappa man. She had to.
Y'all heard it. Therein lies a big part of the problem. The sellout black pastor used to be a moral pillar of the black community, but the black pastor has sold out. He recognizes that up to 75% of many black churches are made up of black women. The parishioners of most black churches are black women. the black man in large has left the black church because of pastors like Jamal Bryant. For those of you that don't know, that pastor that you just heard praising Fani Willis and praising black women, he is a pastor based here in Georgia, where I'm from, and his church is in Lithonia, and it's actually called New Birth Baptist Church. The church has a long history of, I guess you could say, unethical, immoral behavior. The previous pastor, named Eddie Long, he's dead now. He got caught up allegedly having sexual relations with young men, and he died of cancer allegedly, but that's another story for another day. I believe he died from the 3-letter word that, well, AIDS is 4 letters. I just told you what it is, but that's what I think. That's another conversation for another day, so I digress. But Fani Willis was pictured on the screen, and what has happened is the Democrat Party has taken over the black church, as a lot of us know. And it's just very, very disturbing and egregious if you're a God-fearing person like myself to see what has happened to the black church. And Fani Willis knows that what she's done is wrong. She knows that she was sleeping with a married man, allegedly. And Nathan Wade, he even gave his testimony stating that the affair began before he was brought onto the Trump case, even though he's not qualified to be on the Trump case. And Fani's whole attitude with these hearings that's going on is, she got the attitude, she rolling her eyes, she all slouched down in the seat. She just acts like she's above it all, because why am I as a black woman having to answer to these white men? I'm the DA of Fulton County. She's let her power go to her head. She is the most powerful district attorney in the state of Georgia outside of the attorney general, which is Chris Carr, who's a Republican. And the state attorney general, of course, is the most powerful prosecutor in the state. But outside of him, yeah, Fulton County is the biggest county in the state by population, over 1 million people. So she's one of the most high-profile district attorneys in the entire Southeast.
About this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world.
So, I mean, as a lot of us know, black female feminism is on another level. The white woman gave the black woman feminism, and the black woman took the torch and ran with it and created feminism on steroids. I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man. We've all heard it. And I'm not saying that all black women think like this, but the ones that do, is almost impossible to have a traditional relationship with these type of women. I don't know why Fani Willis got divorced some time ago, but Fani Willis is a divorcee. And she talked about how her and Nathan Wade would have arguments about her not needing him for anything, and she would give him his money back. Like I said, I don't really care to get into all the intricacies surrounding the hearing and what is alleged happening and not alleged. Y'all can watch whatever videos you want to watch. There's so many people who've done videos about it, but I'm talking about the psyche, the overall psyche of black women like Fani Willis, and how it got this way. And we can go all the way back to slavery and Jim Crow and the oppression and all that. And the black woman had to do it. She had to be strong and blah, 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 blah. But in reality, feminism has morphed into something that was beyond what it originally was created for. And I'm no fan of feminism. I think it's been a force for evil more so than the force for good. It started off as a way for women to get, the right to vote. And a lot of white women were wanting to share power with white men. That's just what it was. And nowadays, You have women that are aiming for female superiority, and in the black women's mind, and their version of feminism, it's black women above everybody, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. You know, no man is above a woman, no woman is above a man. Everybody deserves to be treated with respect, regardless of, you know, who you are or how many degrees you have, what your authority is in today's society.
You know, Fani Willis was, if standing on business was a witness. That was what we saw today. And what we also saw today, frankly, was a clinic in black womanhood, and particularly high-profile black womanhood, right? If you're a black woman in this country, you don't have to be a district attorney prosecuting the former president of the United States to really understand what it means to have your integrity or your professionalism questioned, or the urge to defend your character or reputation, right? And so that's what you really saw on display today. Yes, she was angry, but she was also insulted. She was offended. You know, if somebody thinks that they're being lied on, you know, and especially Fani Willis, prepare to defend yourself, because that was exactly what she came to that stand prepared to do today of her own free will.
Well, and the thing is, Katie, you as a woman of color who have to stand in a courtroom, you know this all too well. You know, look, I have a book about this, about the way they did this with Burley Evers Williams. Be pretty, but not too pretty. Be, you know, forceful, but not too forceful. Don't be loud. Don't be angry. Excuse me, if you're questioning my integrity and accusing me of hiring somebody that I was having an affair with when I'm telling you the timeline, and then asking, did my kids live at my house? You want to know how much money I have? Is he giving me cash? She was insulted, and rightfully so. This idea that women of color have to sit there and be demure and take it, there were people on social media who were saying, oh, she's coming in too hot.
I don't know how much money they're paying Joy Reid to put that ridiculous blonde wig on her head, but for her to always be screaming about white supremacy, why do you want to have the white woman's hair on your head, ma'am? And I looked it up, and she is married to a black man, which is amazing to me, because usually her type is usually the type to marry a white man, but she is married to a black man, and they do have black children, which is remarkable. So in conclusion, I just wanted to remind you guys that the black pastor is not standing firm. He's not holding the black community accountable. He's not going to hold the black woman accountable, because she makes up the majority of the black church congregation in most black churches. The black pastor has deviated away from the Bible. A lot of our Democrat politicians have bowed down to the agenda that has been set forth to them by the white liberal. And just remember that, you know, the black pastor is not going to preach the Bible the way it's supposed to be preached, because he wants that money to keep coming in. The black woman gives and gives faithfully. The black church brings in an estimated $10 to $15 billion a year. And that black pastor sold out a long time ago. And I'm not talking about all black pastors. There are some good black pastors out there. I know a few, and I've attended the church of a few. But he sold out for a 3-piece suit, that black church money, and a Cadillac. And as long as he can, you know, keep getting those tithes and offerings and that money rolling in every Sunday, he gonna keep telling the black woman whatever she want to hear. He's gonna keep on talking about black girl magic. You know, let's praise the black woman. Let's clap our hands and dance. And, you know, like I said, there's nothing wrong with celebrating people for doing something that's worth celebrating, but there's no reason to celebrate Fani Willis in the house of the Lord, because the Lord is not pleased with the actions of Fani Willis. If you really wanted to preach the Bible, Fani Willis was basically a mistress to a married man, and that's called adultery. He was committing adultery, she was fornicating, and that's not something that the good Lord is proud of, if you want to get biblical real quick. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Not here to, you know, throw anybody under the bus. Like I said, I've always, you know, dated black women. I've only brought black women home to mama, so nobody can say, oh, you hate black women. No, I'm just tired of us not holding each other accountable. You got too many black people excusing this behavior, and you got black women that are Democrats and that are liberals and that are able to do what they do without getting in trouble, because they follow the rules. As long as you follow the rules, everything will be cool. But just remember that on the Democrat plantation, the black woman can never be the wife, because there's already a wife in place. You are the mistress of the Democrat plantation. You cannot be the wife and the mistress. That's why one is called the wife and one is called the mistress. The wife has certain access and certain privileges that the mistress does not have. The mistress is relegated to being the mistress. Now, don't get me wrong. The mistress can be treated very well. There's another high-profile prosecutor, district attorney. Well, actually, she's the state attorney general up in New York, Letitia James. Letitia James just celebrated with Judge Engeron, who levied a fine of over $350 million against Donald Trump, with interest can go over $400 million up in New York for some type of fraud case. But that'll get overturned, hopefully. And I just wanted to go back to that black pastor real quick. We had honorable black men back in the day, like Nat Turner, who was a rebellious slave who led one of the biggest rebellions. He was, of course, put down for leading the rebellion. One of my favorite all-time heroes of the ancestors, Frederick Douglass. Honorable man. These black men were men of honor. And at the end of the day, the buck stops with the black man, because women are a reflection of the men. And black women will not be brought back into order, at least the ones that are out of order, until the black man gets them back in order. Shout out to the good black women. If I'm not talking to you, don't get offended. Malcolm X was one of my favorites as well. Dr. King, I got, a different type of take on King. I like some of his stuff, but Dr. King had a lot of skeletons in his closet. Nobody was perfect, but Dr. King was heavily influenced by a communist by the name of Bayard Rustin, an openly gay man back in the day that was extremely forbidden. A lot of y'all may not know about him, but look him up. Bayard Rustin. Bayard Rustin. He was, like I said, an openly gay man, and he had a lot of influence over Dr. King, but they didn't include him in a lot of Dr. King's legacy. And yes, they even have Black Girl Magic wine, sparkling wine. So the Black Girl Magic, the black woman is God. It's a cult. It's a real thing. Black women have kind of latched on to this. I'm a god. I'm a queen. Yes, queen. All that energy. That's for a reason. Like I said, the masculine, heterosexual, strong black men of God. We have abdicated our role and not leading and guiding our women, and that's a big part of the reason why they've latched on to this black female feminism. I'm a god, I'm a queen, I can do no wrong, who can check me?
Who gonna check me, boo?
So yeah, I mean, we got a long way to go, man. I mean, and I'm gonna do another video in the near future about how there are so many black women who are finally being brought to the forefront for their improprieties, their indiscretions, because everybody else gets held accountable. And yes, there are people in high places that need to be held accountable that are not. But if we don't have people on the local level being held accountable, how are we going to hold people accountable at the upper level, like in Washington, at the federal level? You know what I'm saying? The elites are getting away with way too much. Our nation would not be in the shape that it's in if we, the people, wouldn't tolerate this. And in the black community, we tolerate corruption and filth and degeneracy more than any other demographic. We just do. And the only people that are going to fix the black community is black people. So Fani Willis needs to be taken off the case with Donald Trump. This is unethical what she's done. And the greater issue is strong men need to stand up and start leading these women and start instilling in them when they're young what their role is. And maybe Fani Willis wouldn't have grown up and had this type of energy. Yeah, I know she had a father, but something went wrong somewhere. And that sellout black pastor ain't making things no better. He's really not. And that white liberal man, the head of the Democrat plantation, he's giving these women these positions of power. He's using her. He's using Fani Willis. He's using Letitia James. He's using Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court, who wouldn't define what a woman was, even though she pushed 2 babies out of her twat. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the white conservative men, y'all responsible too, to a degree. And the reason why I say y'all are partially to blame is because when y'all left the cities to go create the suburbs, you left the power vacuum and you didn't go back and fight. You gave the culture away to the white liberal. You left and then the devil came in. The devil of liberalism, the devil of feminism, the sexual revolution, all those things, you know, permeated in the cities and these metro areas. That's where all these people are at. They're not out in the country. They're not out in these rural areas, destroying the rural areas. They're destroying the cities. They're destroying some of these inner suburbs. You know, Fani Willis is just one of many. You know, she's just in the spotlight right now. That's all that is. So it's going to take a collective effort of strong men to let the women know that this is not acceptable. This type of behavior is not acceptable. You know, it's just not. It's not. In the courtroom, showing out. Just showing out, acting a fool. And like I said, that black pastor ought to be ashamed of himself. He's literally taking gasoline and dumping it on the flame. He's making it worse. Because he want that right there. He want that bread. He want that money. And y'all gonna keep giving it to him. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all follow all that good stuff. Peace.